Well, we're joined now by Michael Shin. Michael, welcome back to New Zealand. Again, like Jet, a returnee to the series, running again with M2 competition. You've been right on the pace these last couple of days. What are your expectations for the 5 weekends that lie ahead?
Obviously, coming back to this championship, I hope to get some strong results. But I've learned last year that it's not just about doing the fastest times, but being consistent with it. So I'll try to have good performances consistently in all of the 5 rounds, and hopefully we can aim for top 5 in the championship.
Each of the sessions, I think yesterday and today, you were top 5 or thereabouts. That must give you confidence ahead of qualifying.
Yes and no, because qualifying is when it really matters, and practice you never know what other teams are doing. So I think it all comes down to tomorrow.
How important is competing in the championship last year for this year? I mean, what did you learn last year apart from the consistency and the circuits? What else can you bring to the table this year as a sort of a graduate of 2024?
Well, I guess the most obvious thing is track knowledge. I've been to 4 out of the 5 tracks, which is already, an advantage compared to the other competitors. But I've also learned things like tire management, which is quite unique for this car, and especially this track where there's a lot of degradation. So I think that'll come into play, especially for the longer feature races on the Sunday.
With our circuits in New Zealand, a lot of people come here for the challenge of the circuits. How challenging do you find them, and are they hugely different from what else you race on elsewhere in the world?
I would say they are quite unique, but they have similarities to UK circuits, being very bumpy and having no runoff. And I'd say actually the bumpy aspect of the track makes it quite difficult because the car sometimes gets pretty wild.
Michael, have you noticed a difference in people noticing you since last year? Was that something? Obviously, it's part of it. Profile is everything in motor racing. You got some great results, including getting a podium here in the first round. But what was the knock-on effect after you left New Zealand last year and now coming here again?
Well, I think having a solid season last year has helped with people knowing who I am, and being able to return. I already have a lot of familiar faces that I've seen already, and when I was coming into the country, actually, one of the immigrations officers said they read about TRS and say, "Are you this driver?" And I was very surprised because I wasn't expecting anything like that. But yeah, it was a pleasant way to start this journey.
No kidding.
Michael, at what point did you decide to come back, and what was the lure for that? What made you think, I want to come back and have another go at that?
Well, after last year, reflecting back on it, I felt like there's no better way to start the season in terms of learning and just overall experience, because we have so much track time, but as well outside the track, we can go hiking, we can go to the lake. There's so much to do, and it's not an experience that I would deny if I get a second chance to do.
Great, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you so much.